Guys, appreciate it. We load you up with any Component 1 socks yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, we got some of those. Where are they at? Over here.
Good work.
You yours yet, Sam?
Nope.
Oh boy. How about you, Joe?
Nope.
All right, I'll hook you up here. There's your pair. And a card too, filled. Winning marvelous prizes. In 20 minutes, you got a shot at winning Component 1 Ultimate Studio. Another pair of socks for you. And entry card. You win once again. There you go, and some socks for you.
Okay, good.
And there you go. Some
Thank you.
Socks. All right, we're rolling. Let's go ahead and get started on this session. This is a showdown session, and it's one I'm pretty excited about. It's about HTML5 technology and our controls that support that with Component 1. My name is Russ Festino. I'm a senior developer evangelist, and hold on one second. Is that my one or that yours?
No, it's yours.
That's mine? Okay. So dry and parched lately. So that's my Twitter at RussCamTV. So if you do some tweets, appreciate it during this session as well. But this is a very exciting session. I tell you why. A lot of the sessions I go to across the country have more and more interest in the HTML5 sessions with JavaScript. Who here is doing HTML5 with JavaScript? One, a couple of you are about getting into it. Well, this has to do with what's the reason for this? Why is this happening now? It's really responsive web design is a big piece that's forcing this to happen. And by what that I mean is you got all these different kind of devices now. You got your little cell phones, you got the slates, you got the tablets, and it would be nice if this thing just rendered automatically across all those different devices. It's the same age-old problem we've had many times, but now there seems to be a good solution in the fact that you can do a lot of this right through one common approach across all of these devices, and that's with HTML5 and JavaScript. And some stats, 55% of the adults that access the web are doing it now through mobile devices. You've got, by 2013, mobile phones will overtake PCs as the most common web access, right? So again, these are things you got to start designing for in your application. What's the impact? Well, if your site is not mobile ready, guess what's going to happen? 61% leave. So that's a big hit on your business and on the bottom line. So you really want to try to incorporate some of these new technologies to help prevent something like that happening. 79% will go ahead and search for another site, and 48% said that if the site didn't work on any mobile device, they didn't feel the company valued their business. These are very interesting statistics. I've got all these from Josh Broughton. I saw Josh present in Iowa Code Camp about a month ago. Blew me away, great presentation. And so it really, to me anyway, made the importance come through on a lot of these things. Really drove home the importance of HTML5 and jQuery. So with that said, Component 1 has several controls that fit into this arena. Most of them are on the Widmo technology. With Widmo, basically it's a widget. You just go ahead and reference it inside of your HTML, and then you can go ahead and start accessing it through JavaScript, and it's an extension of jQuery. So if you're familiar with jQuery and using the standard jQuery, you just go ahead and keep on using it. And there's nothing different. There's no proprietary library whatsoever. Just go ahead and start using the extension there. It's very, very easy to use. So it's powered by HTML5, jQuery, cascading style sheets, SVG as well. A lot of different themes you can use with our theme roller. So this will apply the same look and feel to all the controls on a page very, very easily. You don't have to do each one independently. And then also cross-browser support through tablets, mobile phones, and Windows 8 controls. So the second piece of the session is going to be Win.js, right? So that's, again, taking our Widmo technology and using that inside of our Win JavaScript controls for Windows 8 applications. And we also have Widmo for ASP.NET, so it runs on that platform. So you're starting to see a common thread here, and also, really, it's any HTML client is really where it works, right? So I even got a demo I can show you here on Light Switch, right? The new client Light Switch preview that's out, where that's going to render across mobile devices, and you can hook Widmo into that as well. So any HTML5 client basically is where you can use Widmo. So it utilizes the jQuery features, Widget Factory, the CSS framework, drag and drop. You got some great controls in terms of visualization, stringing visualizations, data binding, sorting, paging, grouping, all with the grid. These are a lot of the things that are fairly new with the ribbon control, radial gauge, editor. We just came out with V3 for our set of controls from Component 1. And then also, let's go ahead and take a look at a few demos. We're going to start out by building one of these from scratch. So what I've done here is I preloaded up Visual Studio 2012. I did an empty web project here, so there's nothing in it. So let's go ahead and add in an HTML page. And on the HTML page, let's just go ahead and put in a few things here that we're going to need. So the first thing we're going to need here is a reference to jQuery. And then also our CDN, which has the Widmo. And there's a Widmo Open, which is a subset and free of a library of our widgets. The complete is all of our components, and that's a paid product right there. And that's it as far as referencing it goes. Then, next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and put in the CSS and theme. So we'll go ahead and apply our rocket theme here. And once again, we're getting our style sheet from Widmo as well. Then down in the body, let's go ahead and put a div that's going to go ahead and take our calendar control. And what we want to do is instantiate that calendar control with a little bit of script right up here. And then it'll go ahead and give us our controls. So now if I just go ahead and run this, you're actually going to see just like that, we've got ourselves a calendar control. How about that? Pretty nice? Cool? Isn't that neat? So it gets better, right? So you can control this piece of this widget. And you can come over here and come down, and let's get rid of this line. Put in another one. Whoop. This line here. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to put in parameters. So before it was empty, now it's got show other month days equals false. Now if you notice what happened, it had like a few days before and after on that calendar. Now if I go to run this, you'll just see the days of the month. All right, starting with 1. There's no other dates in that top row. Those are all gone. And then finally, to give you another example, what you can do here is you can go ahead and a little bit even more. You can display the date as you can start at a certain date. So this is going to start at August 25th, 2010 will be the display start date. So it's just that easy to start manipulating a lot of these controls. I must have had a little...
Just cut and paste. You need to remove the outer calendar one.
Oh, yeah. So I have this one in here first. And then what we got? Oh, this goes away. See that one there? Is there? I should be getting rid of this one here. There it is. So now we're starting August 25th, 2010, so you can see that. Now to get a better idea of all of our controls, we have the Control Explorer. If you go out to widmo.com, you can go through and look at all the different controls on the site very, very easily. This works with Knockout, right? So those that are doing any kind of view model programming with Knockout, it works really nice with that. Here you got your bar charts, single transition, simple bar, stacked, couple different themes you could apply. You got calendar control. Just showed you that, how to build one from scratch. Composite charts. Very robust. Grid control, favorite, right? Being able to bind and filter and work on data types, column resizing, all that stuff is built right into these. I mean, that's the idea. Why rebuild the wheel, right? When you have it, here's some gauge controls. And really all you need to make this stuff work is an HTML5 client, like I said. So there you can see just a good number of controls and widgets. Now what I'm going to do is show you something cool. And I actually just started doing this for the first time the other day. Anybody playing with LightSwitch here? So LightSwitch 2012 is right out of the box now with Visual Studio. And there's also a preview out now, a preview 2 that is going to make it more device independent. So let me go ahead and start up a project here to demonstrate how this will work with LightSwitch in that case. I'm going to go and fire up a new application. This, by the way, this demo is courtesy of, right over here, Michael Washington posted this blog post a few days ago on incorporating a Widgmo control in with LightSwitch, and this is where I got it from. And he's a Component 1 influencer, lives out in Washington, does a great job, and so if you wanted to follow these step-by-steps, just look for Michael Washington's blog. I guess he's got the URL up there. Let's see what it is. LightSwitchHelpWebsite.com is where it's at. And so the first thing we'll do is do a new project here. And we're going to go down to LightSwitch now. I've installed the community preview so you can see you've got the HTML application. And we'll call this Widgmo Student 2. And so when this comes up, this is actually going to be a LightSwitch project. So the first part of this, we're going to do a couple things in LightSwitch. We're going to add a table in. We're going to add a couple pages to view it. And then we're finally going to incorporate the control on one of those pages is where we're going with this. So who here has actually used the new LightSwitch out of V1000?
Can you explain LightSwitch? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So the LightSwitch, in my mind, is like an Access, but it's online. It's web-based. So very Access-like look and feel with tables and forms and screens. You just drive. It's all user-driven. Very little coding. So it's all GUI design for web applications. So let's add a table to this project. So we're going to go to add the, put in the student name, make that an integer. Over here, we're going to go ahead and put in a test score, let's say. Keep it simple. Actually, that's an integer. This is going to be a string. And then we'll call this Widgmo Student. And we'll go ahead and save everything. Now what we'll do is we'll go and add a screen now. That's on the server side, so that's where you define the table. Then on the client side, we want to add a couple screens that are going to act against this. And I just started using this. This is pretty cool. I like the way this works. So there's our Widgmo students. We're going to do a browse screen, add that one in. Then we're going to do one more. We're going to add a second screen. And this is going to be our detail screen. We'll wire it up into our table. Hit OK here. So that's all set. And then we're going to go and come in and take care of some editing capabilities with this. So if we go out to the browse one that we created, our browse Widgmo students right here, and click on the row layout there, then you see a little add button. If we hit add, you can say, okay, I'm going to add a new button here. And I'm going to go ahead and choose an existing method. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and select the add new edit. So we're going to be able to edit a button, have an edit button in here. And then the detail is the one we want to keep there. So that's good. Then we want to allow the user to edit an existing record. So what we're going to do is go ahead and select on the student record here. Bring up the properties over here on the right. And you can see right there actions. Right now it's set to none. We want to click that and change that. And we want to go ahead and choose an existing method here. Edit selected. And again, we're going to work on the detail record, so that's good. And then hit this OK. Now we should be able to just run this, and we should be able to see our editing of and running of this app and being able to use light switch in a very portable manner. It's all HTML information. So here comes the student record, and we're going to add our student, Russ. What should I give myself? 99, sound good? Check
100.
that. 100, okay. We can go back and edit it. 100. And the nice thing about this is like mobile, so you can picture that, you know, it could be running on a phone device or something like that, right? So very, very fluid in terms of where it can run. So that's the light switch piece of it. Now let's go ahead and add in a Widmo control for this project. So what I'm going to do now is go over to the Solution Explorer and let's look at our project, and let's go to the file view. And on the file view, let's go to client. We're going to go ahead and add in manage NuGet packages. So what you saw me first do was I just added the CDN reference into the HTML page. This is the second way you can access references to the Widmo libraries going out to NuGet, and then they'll actually download them and put them right into your project. So you can see we got the jQuery. These are the ones that are out there. If I do a search on Widmo, all the Widmo comes up. You got Widmo Complete, Widmo Open, Widmo Scaffolding, and MVC. There's one for Juice UI and one for Knockout as well. So let's go ahead and install the one here for Complete. All right, this will go ahead and get our appropriate libraries in place. And then as soon as this loads up, we will resume and make a few modifications out to the default page. So where is our go view? Scripts. So there's all the scripts, right? We just loaded in right there. They're all in there. Okay. Now let's go out and bring up the default page. Give me 1 second. File view, then we want to go file view. That's what I thought. File view. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, sorry about that. All right, so now we get back on track here. So here's our default page that we want to have in here. And let's go ahead and start putting in a few references once again. So we'll come over here. This is going to be our reference to our JavaScript file, right, that we just put in there, complete. Come down to line 84, and we're going to have in a few more JavaScript lines here. All right, pulling in the widgets, and then we want to go ahead and put in the jQuery references, just like we did when we created this from scratch. And then lastly, we'll go ahead and put in our invocation of the function that we want to use. That's our gauge control. We'll go ahead and use that. And then the next thing we'll take a look at is firing this up. So we got some of our script down here, wire up the controls, make them accessible to light switch. And then finally what we'll do is we'll come over here to the logical view once again. And then we'll go ahead and we'll wire up that last gauge control that we just roped in there. So, so we'll go out to the detail record, and that's where we're going to do it on. Let's go back out to the designer. And what we want to do is add one more button to this with the for the test score. We're actually going to add a test score text box, and then we want to bind the values of that to the value of test score. So we'll do the first one is in there, the second one is in there. So on the second one, what we want to do is actually make that a custom control. And then we want to go to the properties on it and just tweak a few of these to make this thing hidden. And then a fixed size. And then come down over here with our pixels. Say 240.
It is visible or not visible?
Yeah, it's not visible. The text box is not visible because we're going to replace it with the control. That's going to be
so
coming
I
up.
don't want to uncheck it? Or it is visible?
The control is visible, but the label position is hidden.
Oh, the label.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that part's good. And then finally, we'll come up here and edit this render code. And this is going to bring us into this, the JavaScript piece of this, where we need to put this in. And so the last thing we'll do is we'll put in our statement here to create the control, right, and go ahead and use it. Let's see. And I think if we run this, see how this works. So now we've got the app coming up. We've got the add our record. Oh, it didn't work.
It's a custom control kind of error.
Yeah.
Create something that was undefined.
Yeah, must have left out. Render, control, must have,
Create.
maybe I didn't build it.
When did that create? Are you supposed to have code after that create control?
This one here?
No, yeah. You're supposed to have code after it. It succeeded. It said.
Let me pull up, I've got another one here. Demos. So picture, if you will look like this. So we come through, go ahead and edit it. And there's our gauge, right, coming up that we did from scratch. And I had one in here with the light switch driving it, and the gauge would actually appear in the Widmo one. Let me see if I got it here. Light switch. All right. That looks better. All right, so here's the light switch example, and then what you'll see then is that this, basically you wired up this app the same way you wired up the plain HTML app, right? Sending the jQuery references, the references to Widmo, and then your cascading style sheets. So there is the gauge right there. So there is 90, and you go ahead and, check it off right here, right? You come back in, right? And there you see it going up to 90. Now it's not, responsive. There's a code that we can have to make it responsive. See, I just changed it, moved it a little bit. That is done in the script, right, that we looked at where we just added that in into the project. That was like an additional line of code there to see that on the script page. So a lot of goodness here is what I'm trying to say. And then next time I go to create a Windows Phone app, there's a new template there for HTML. There's no reason you couldn't be using Widmo with HTML5 template for phones. The last one is the one with Knockout. And if you're looking at the Knockout sample, who is knocking out? Anybody using Knockout here? You are? Okay.
What is that?
Knockout is a nice framework for a view model in JavaScript. So you basically define all your record types, your entities, and then you can access them programmatically through views. And it's very, very slick. And it's a very popular way of doing JavaScript coding nowadays. And it's supported in our browser. So if I go out to widmo.com, a couple other things to point out here, then I'll be all done and you can get up here and that. Are the demos, right there's one there about the demos on Knockout. If you want to see the Knockout demo, you can bring that up right over here. There's also a cool MV dashboard that uses this Knockout technology. I've got a touch screen here, so I'm actually just touching my screen. Everything is touch sensitive, all the Widmo controls. Then the other thing, a lot of good, here's all the widgets, right, that are supported. We took a look at a few of these at the start, just a plethora of them. Great documentation, getting started, and all this stuff. We'll go ahead and a lot of getting started with, say, Widmo and Knockout. These are really good articles because it describes a lot about jQuery and JavaScript and the basics, right? And it gives you step-by-step what to do. Add the library references, add the widgets. Here you're going to define your data set. Here you're going to go ahead and bind items to that data set. And here you're going to go ahead and activate this thing and get it to run. And then here's the code that actually brings up the widgets, and it ties together, in this case, the slider with the text box with the linear gauge, and they're all running together all in one piece. So that's a really nice little example to go through. And then lastly, over here we have Theme Roller on the main page. This is our theming support for the Widge Mode controls, and we use the same technology in our WinJS. WinJS just released in beta a couple of days ago, and we have a lot of the data visualization controls, and the final version for that will be out probably within the next quarter. And here you can see all the different theming, right? So the ones on top, the Theming Explorer, if you take a look at this, these are all the different themes that you can apply. The ones on the top here are premium. These come with a paid version. So you've got this Arctic kind, you've got this Aristo, Rocket you saw me use in the demo. And you can see all the themes changing. They all apply to all the controls on the page at once, which is nice. You don't have to theme each one individually. And then finally, you have your own builder. You have a customized theme roller that you could use. And there you can go ahead and create your own custom theme should you want to do that. So that's available on our site as well. Explorer. So that's pretty cool stuff. So anyway, let me go ahead and end. I've went over my time a little bit. Sorry about that. And again, we've got some great resources here. Basically, widgemode.com is where you want to go. Get started. A lot of great tutorials and labs. You can get started for free. Using the open version, that's a subset. You can even use the complete version, and then you'll just get nag streams going forward, until you pay. And we're going to do a drawing. If you got time, fill out a card. We'll get Nat up here, and he gets set up, and then we'll do a drawing for component 1, Ultimate. All right, and I'll do this as soon as you get done filling these out. Give them right back. See, you filled one out. Somebody filled one out, handed it in. Is it you? Oh, there you go. You got it filled? All right, good. Anybody else? You got another one?
Sure.
All right. Hi, how you doing? Filling up? Good to see you.
I'm coming to see you.
Oh,
I saw it's filming.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Yes.
Honored.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.